This is iCrazyTeddy and welcome back to another stream / video here on my channel today. This is the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare official multiplayer and zombies reveal. Alright, there's going to be a co-op mode for this. The developers are going to talk a little bit more about the multiplayer as well as the campaign. This is where you guys want to be at. Please share the stream. Let's get some more people in here. This is going to be hype as fuck, alright? And it hasn't even started yet. There's like a little countdown that they have going on soon. We're going to hear from developers and everything like that. Let's take a look at what they're showing on the stream right now. Right now they're showing this is live on YouTube. We got John Jones. Yo, this is going to be hype, man. This is going to be fucking hype. Let me go ahead and check the youtube.com/Call of Duty. Okay, so Infinity Ward dives deeper into the campaign and talks about multiplayer and co-op mode in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, with additional details of the return of the modern classic Call of Duty 4. Apparently according to leaks, the co-op mode is going to be zombies, a co-op zombies that Infinity Ward is making. I'm not really too sure what's going on with that, but as always, guys, be sure to drop like, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, let's get this started. I guess I'm going to mute my mic and let's watch the rest of this, and I'll chime in between goes.
Hello everyone, I'm Scott Lowe with Activision, and what you just saw was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, the next Call of Duty game from the team at Infinity Ward, and launching around the world on November 4th. As you can see, Infinite Warfare takes the series to a broad new setting, introducing new characters, a new universe, a new story, and as you can imagine, in the months ahead, we're going to have today with a behind-the-scenes discussion with the developers to learn more about the campaign, dive a little bit into multiplayer and co-op, as well as Modern Warfare Remastered, which you may have noticed there at the end of the trailer. That's very exciting. It's real, it's happening, and we're going to talk about it in just a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about the campaign and the story. And to share their insight, I'm joined now by Jacob Minkoff, Design Director, as well as Taylor Kurosaki, Narrative Director. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. So for those of us outside of the game development realm, what do your jobs entail as it pertains to the studio and this game in particular?
Well, I'm the narrative director of the game, which means I'm in charge of all things sort of story related and narrative presentation related. So that means the story, the scenes, the writing, the casting the game, the characters in the game, and then of course directing the performance capture here at this studio we're at right now.
Cool. And design, from that perspective?
Design director, so my job is to make sure that we are implementing all of that in-game in a way that makes the emotions, the characters come across properly. You know, I focus on visual design language, mechanics, you know, making sure that the player's experience on the stick conveys all of the emotions that Taylor's scripts and performances and everything are intended to evoke.
So the two of you actually have quite a bit of experience doing narrative-driven experiences in games, most recently at Naughty Dog before coming to Infinity Ward. What drew you to the Call of Duty franchise and this project in particular?
Well, I mean, speaking for myself, I've been a fan of Call of Duty since the beginning. I remember playing the first Call of Duty. It really, it blew my mind. The first time I saw a dude put his back up against a wall and, you know, he's got his gun and he's, peeking around the corner. And it created so much more tension for me because I believed in the stakes of the moment. I believed that it was dangerous. And you know, that was kind of a turning point for me because I realized how important NPC performances are in making you buy into the world and believe in the world. And I've honestly used tricks that I learned from Call of Duty 1 in every game I've shipped in my career. And, you know, when the opportunity arose to work on a Call of Duty, I was, you know, super excited to do that. And on top of that, the Infinite Warfare project itself is extremely exciting to anyone who likes video games at all.
Yeah, ditto for me. I've been a huge fan of the series. Modern Warfare, Crew Expendable, what an incredible opening to a game. I just remember it just taking me into that place, and I didn't want to leave. And so for us, I think the opportunity to sort of work in the Call of Duty franchise, which is known for, incredible set pieces and incredible visuals and rock solid 60 frames per second action, and to be able to infuse our sort of narrative philosophy into that just seemed like an incredible opportunity.
Well, and speaking of narrative, let's talk about probably the biggest question on everyone's minds with regards to Infinite Warfare, which of course is the setting. What was the motivation to bring it to space, and what were kind of the opportunities there for you guys?
First and foremost, the motivation was the enthusiasm of the team. We all wanted to make this game. We could feel it in our bones. No one was going to tell us no. This was the game we absolutely wanted to make. It was the game we knew we needed to make. The opportunity to take this trademark Call of Duty feel, this boots on the ground, authentic military feel, and take it into this new setting. To take, in some ways, the familiar, meaning that like gritty, authentic war feeling, and take it into a new setting was super exciting, and it was an opportunity we couldn't pass up.
In Infinite Warfare, the world is dependent on resources from outposts throughout the solar system. Earth has been stripped of its natural resources, kind of like we see today, peak oil, climate change, and now the resources that we need are out there in space. It's been said that the first trillionaire is going to be whoever first mines an asteroid. So you have that sort of money out there, you're going to have war. There's going to be militarization, no question about it. So in our world where the people and countries of Earth are reliant on these outposts for the fuel and other resources that they need, there's a brutal, insurgent, militarized group called the Settlement Defense Front that rises to attempt to take control of all of these resources. The Settlement Defense Front is this brutal fascist group that wants to completely control all of the outposts throughout the solar system, and to essentially hold the countries of Earth in a stranglehold by virtue of having a complete control and embargo on all of the resources that the people of Earth need to survive.
So in terms of envisioning that universe and kind of building it from the ground up in that way, but maintaining that feel, alongside of that, what has the new setting from a creative standpoint in terms of gameplay kind of afforded you that another setting probably wouldn't have had?
Well, of course, new environments, right? Space allows us to take the player to places that they've never been in Call of Duty before. So, we have dogfighting in space, in a convertible space fighter that switches between zero-G and atmospheric combat. And of course we have all of the boots-on-ground combat that you're used to on Earth, but then we also have the experience of fighting in zero-G, grappling around the outside of a ship that you're trying to board. And we have, for instance, a mission where you are on the surface of an asteroid spinning out of control close to the sun, where it's 2,000 degrees in the sunlight and negative 200 degrees in the shade. And you have to be focused not only on the guys in front of you and creating cover there, but also you need cover against the sun so you don't get fried by it. So it creates these new gameplay challenges and these new pressures on the characters that are totally unique to Infinite Warfare.
So, character development seems to be a big part of this. Whether it's, on the Settlement Defense Front side and kind of making them a believable enemy, as well as, the relationships you as a captain have with your crew. How are you guys bringing these characters to life? We're here on this performance capture stage. It's not just a pretty set. It's something you guys are actively using, right?
No, we've been shooting for a little over a year now. We don't just kind of get everyone together and shoot over a few days. We like to look at our production more like shooting on a episodic TV series, We have actors that are committed to working on this project with us from beginning to end. And as we get to know the characters better, as we get to know the actors better, we can tailor those performances and those roles to what's really true about the character for them. And so we've got a shoot here tomorrow, actually, one of our last shoots in the game. But it's been incredible to have this facility, because what it allows us to do is as you can hear, it's incredibly quiet here. It's a acoustically perfect space. And so we can capture each actor's movements, their voices, their facial expressions, all at one go. And it allows these characters to really be in these scenes and acting and listening and responding to each other in a very natural, believable way. Also, we think that our voiceovers in this game are going to be much more realistic, because we don't do any voiceovers in a recording booth, where an actor is sort of forced to sit on a stool in front of a giant microphone, and they can't move too much because it changes the acoustic properties of their voice too much. Instead, we have wireless microphones, and again, these helmet-mounted cameras capturing their expressions, and they're able to run around the space. They're able to throw themselves into cover. They're able to grab a gun and shout that, you know, a grenade is coming, or crawl up next to each other and whisper because we're doing a stealthy infill. And again, I think that's really going to transport the player into this universe really effectively.
Like, the believability of this whole world is paramount to us, right? Everything is about buying into it, thinking like, oh yeah, oh, that could happen, that is real, and these characters do act that way, and I do buy into their performances. And, you know, I mean, that's one of the reasons why. So, like, in this story, you only are fighting within the solar system the whole time, and there are no aliens. You're fighting other humans, right? This is, again, like, we're looking for the most grounded, believable conflict you could possibly have in space, and that goes from the character performances and motivations all the way through the environments and the plot.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to walk me through it. I really appreciate it. I understand you guys actually have a clip to kind of highlight some of the performance capture process with an introduction from Captain Reyes himself, so that's pretty awesome. So we'll check that out, and then after that, we're going to come back and talk about multiplayer, co-op, and of course, Modern Warfare Remastered. So roll the clip.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Bloom. I play Captain Nick Reyes, your player character. And today we're going to get a sneak peek behind the scenes at some performance capture footage from the all-new, upcoming Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This is a scene I wrote with Jake and Taylor where Captain Reyes and Staff Sergeant Omar are planning a mission to go behind enemy lines and scout an LZ for reinforcements. Here at the Infinity Ward motion capture stages, we created some incredible, amazing characters that should be memorable and add to your gameplay experience. So without further ado, let's take a look at some raw performance capture video from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
You been down to Titan?
I have.
Ops?
No. Pops. Dad was a tank farmer. Worked the pipelines for about 30 years. Retired just before the SDF took it over.
Let's go give him hell.
Bet your ass. This has been a long time coming.
How are we executing?
Joint operation. You and me. Our copy.
Affirmative. Armed recon. Small team. We're invading a denied area.
Yeah, silver lining around that reticle is SecDef didn't ask permission then, and we're not asking permission now.
My jacks are already standing by.
You just do what you did at the gateway. We'll zip this place right up.
Proud to be of service, Sergeant.
Pride is 100% bona fide bullshit, Raze. You just make sure the mission comes first.
Copy that. Sure, the Sergeant is well aware that the word proud is right in the Navy creed.
I knew there was something I didn't like about you sons of bitches. That explains the white uniform and the submarines.
Submarines?
Yeah. Only the Navy could build a ship designed to sink.
Let's gear up and get evil.
Sure thing.
All right, well, we're back, and of course, it wouldn't be Call of Duty if we didn't talk at least a little bit about multiplayer and cooperative, and of course, a little teaser there at the end. Modern Warfare Remastered. And so to give us all the intel, we're joined by Joe Seacott, lead designer on the multiplayer team, Brian Bright, project director on the cooperative mode, and Eric Monticelli, director of studio communications. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hey.
Joe, since you're closest to me, let's start with multiplayer. How has this new setting kind of influenced from a design perspective and opened up new doors for you?
I mean, as a designer, that's really opened the floodgates for us. Like, we're not kind of chained to modern. We can kind of make new toys, create new mechanics, and we can take players to places they've never been before. You know, we have some really good multiplayer maps that take place on Earth, but we also have a multiplayer map up in a space station. We have multiplayer maps on other planets within our solar system. So just being able to kind of bring players, or have the opportunity to bring players there is just really exciting for us. We also have kind of new mechanics. You know, new mechanics I can't talk about right now, but we have kind of a whole new stable of lethals and tacticals for the player to kind of engage with and to try, and you're going to see some of that in our upcoming trailers, and it's pretty spectacular.
Well, speaking of the trailers, we saw a little bit, you know, on the campaign side, you know, these, you know, zero-G dogfights and these, like, you know, ship-based battles. Is that coming into multiplayer at all, or is it mainly still on that kind of person-to-person combat?
I mean, we always share. Like, we work closely with the campaign team, and they work closely with us. So, like, a lot of tech went into the Jackal and the flying, and we have that tech in MP, but we're very, very careful to preserve the core of what makes Call of Duty just the best shooter out there. Our team plays a ton of Black Ops 3. You know, we watched it on the CWL, and we've gotten to build off of kind of their map design and what they learned. So it's really, I think, hitting the mark, and it is future, but it's still the Call of Duty that you love.
Awesome. Well, I know it's very early days, and I'm sure there's a lot more you want to tell us, but thank you for telling us what you could, at least.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you're up next. Let's talk about cooperative. What's going on in Infinite Warfare?
Well, I'm pleased to announce that for the first time ever, Infinity Ward is doing zombies. So I've got a really experienced team, awesome team working on this. You know, we've done Chaos Mode as a team for Modern Warfare 3 with Joe's help, and then we did all the whole Extinction series from Ghosts. And you know, now we're all super big fans of zombies and all the things that both Sledge and Treyarch have done with zombies and Raven in the past. And so we're taking that, and we're excited that we're able to kind of finally do our own take on zombies. And it's its own completely different universe. It's a separate universe from what Treyarch's doing. It's a separate universe from Infinite Warfare. We have something like truly unique and different, and people haven't seen before. And I think, you know, I'm sure that the fans are going to love it.
Well, speaking of the fans, if there's one thing I know about Zombies fans, they are ravenous, and they go crazy for Easter eggs. I know it's a big priority for Extinction and some of your other work, but is that something you're embracing as well for Zombies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we just scratched the surface on Extinction, but in Zombies, I mean, we love the Easter eggs. We love, you know, it's what gives the game life on YouTube, you know. And what's step 21 of getting this particular weapon quest? You know, people love that stuff. It really drives, like, replayability as well. And so, you know, being such a big fan of the work that the other studios have done with Easter eggs, we're taking it even one step further, and can't be more excited. And it'll be interesting to see how many of the Easter eggs fans, you know, actually find, and how long it takes them to find these things.
Awesome. Well, I understand you actually have a little something you could show today.
I do, yeah. I have an image we're going to show now.
All right, well, I'm sure the community is going to spend countless hours kind of pining over that, gleaning whatever detail they can. All right, Brian, thanks so much. I'm excited to see what you guys do with zombies.
Hold that up in their black light. See some Easter eggs.
Yeah, make sure you post it online.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Brian. Eric, let's move on to you. Let's talk about something very near and dear to my heart, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we were really inspired by the community. There's been a voracious outpouring for Remastered ever since, the new console generation came along, and this year we're able to do it. We're working very closely with Raven. We're executive producing and overseeing the game. Personally for me, just being a fan of the franchise, I'm thinking back, Taylor had mentioned that Crew Expendable was one of his favorite levels. I love that opening too, but my personal favorite was All Gillied Up. I think
Mine
Joe,
as well, yeah.
Yeah, that was Joe's personal favorite. We were talking.
I like One Shot, One Kill.
Yeah, One Shot, One Kill, which I love too, because that was, you started in All Gillied Up, you're in this stealth mode, you're sort of creeping through the weeds, and then you get to the end of that level, and then all of a sudden you're in One Shot, One Kill with this like brutal firefight near a Ferris wheel, and I remember just like throwing my controller in frustration, and I'm looking forward to that experience again because it was really rewarding when I got through it, and it's going to be awesome to play again.
Well, I got to tell you, looking at the footage, just what little bit there was there at the end of the trailer, it looked incredible. What is some of the work that's going on behind the scenes to kind of bring it into this new console generation?
Yeah, Raven's really amping up everything. They went back and, we're sticking true to the core original vision of the game, but they're looking back at the textures and reworking those completely from the ground up to make them have that fidelity that you expect from current console generations. It's going to look vibrant, it's going to look brilliant, it's going to look like something amazing when you play this game. Also, the sounds are being reworked. There's audio rework being done, revamping all that. There's new Foley that was recorded, different things like that, especially new techniques, too. Since 2007, the game came out, which is 10...
It's hard to believe it's been that long. Yeah.
9 or 10 years, which is crazy to think about. And, there's a ton of techniques, so like dynamic lighting's been worked in, new visual effects, just a lot of processing and a lot of, new tech that's been pushed on there.
Yeah, well, we've talked a lot about the campaign, and we all have our kind of marquee moments. But of course, multiplayer was a huge component. How does that factor into Remastered?
Yeah, multiplayer was one of my favorite things to do too. It sort of revolutionized multiplayer for the games industry at large. It was this new experience that was remarkable. And what you're going to get with Modern Warfare Remastered is you're going to have 10 multiplayer maps, some of fan favorites. Crash was one of my personal favorites.
Backlot, yeah.
Yeah, Backlot. So you'll have, some really awesome maps to play on. And then you're going to have your prestige, your kill streaks, all the progression stuff you remember too, and familiar modes and things like that. So you're going to have a good multiplayer experience. It's going to be really killer to get into.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And if you missed the news at the end of the trailer there, it's being bundled with Infinite Warfare as part of the Legacy Editions as well as the Digital Deluxe. So yeah, it's going to be awesome to dive into both games. Taking a step back, kind of reflecting on all we've talked about on the stream, it's been quite a bit. So when can fans kind of look forward to the next big announcement or news about Infinite Warfare?
E3 is right around the corner. It's coming in June, and we're going to have a lot of surprises up our sleeve, looking to show fans some really unique stuff then. So make sure you mark that on your calendars because it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here and kind of unravel a little bit what little you could this early on. So yeah, thank you so much. So remember, this is just day one. There is so much to talk about over the months to come, and you'll be able to follow along on all of Call of Duty's channels as well as Infinity Ward's channels as well. So on behalf of everyone at Activision and Infinity Ward, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Unknown. Unidentified settlement ships. You are moving into a restricted
Come on, mate. Yo, did you guys fucking see that? What's up, everyone? This is Teddy, and I am fucking back. Leave a like on the video for no exos. Like for no exos. The graphics, COD 4, then and now look absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to test out the COD 4 multiplayer with the Legacy Edition. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys going to be getting a normal edition? You just want Infinite Warfare? Or are you going to be getting the Legacy Edition? I think most, classic Call of Duty fans, some of us that are a little bit older, that are experienced COD 4 in its fullest, in its prime, are definitely going to be getting the Legacy Edition, like, hands down. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. I'm also going to be giving away a few copies as well, so if you guys are interested in, in an Infinity Ward, in a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Legacy Edition giveaway, then make sure you guys are subscribed, and I'll announce that in the coming weeks. I'll probably give away about 5 copies of the Legacy Edition. It's the least you guys deserve because we are close to 900,000 subscribers. Oh my god. Okay, I want to mention a couple things they said, and I mentioned this in my video yesterday. They said we're going to have maps, multiplayer maps, in space and on Earth, and there's going to be something regarding G gravity. Let me find out exactly what they said. All right, let me find out exactly what they said. Okay. Fighting in zero gravity, grappling ships in space, dogfight in space. This is going to be in missions. They're also going to have zero gravity. I mean, they're going to have like fucking gravity boots if there is maps in space. They haven't really spoke too much about the tech or the kind of combat system, which I really wanted to hear more about, because I'm looking at memes over on Twitter and people are like, bruh, this guy's got a fucking jetpack. This is another thing that they said, and I quote, "We have flying tech in multiplayer. I repeat, we have flying tech in multiplayer, but we are very careful to preserve the core COD feel." That's pretty fucking interesting. I don't know how that's going to work or how it's going to preserve the core COD feel. Another thing, they showed a couple different single player sequences, which were pretty interesting. Austin in the chat said it reminds me of fucking Halo. People are commenting, is this Star Wars? Someone goes Star Wars Duty. Fucking Titanfall 2. Guys, I think this could be a really cool Call of Duty. We just need to give it a go. Like I said, E3 is around the corner. They're probably going to be letting people play the game at E3. That would be fucking awesome. If it is, I'm hopefully going to be going down to E3 if they let people capture it. Stuff like that. Call of Duty 4 is going to be fucking amazing. I just know that as well. It's overall lit, man. I can't wait to get the Legacy Edition for this game. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do day one. Am I going to jump on play multiplayer on Infinite Warfare? Am I going to jump on Infinite Warfare and play the Zombies mode, the co-op mode? Or am I going to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered? Like, I'm in like 3 different minds right now. If I rewind it to where they were showing like the multiplayer sequences. Where was that? It was somewhere near here after this. Was it here? It was a multiplayer. Oh no, this was single player. I don't know, they were showing some really cool stuff in there. I want to find the thing that they showed for zombies. Okay, when this guy spoke.
We're excited that we're able to kind of finally do our own take on zombies. And it's its own completely different universe. It's a separate universe from
Let's listen to this again.
Doing. It's a separate universe from Infinite Warfare. We have something like truly unique and different and people haven't seen before. And I think, I'm sure that the fans are going to love it.
Well, speaking of the fans, if there's one thing I know about Zombies fans, they are ravenous, and they go crazy for Easter eggs. I know it's a big priority for Extinction and some of your other work, but is that something you're embracing as well for Zombies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we just scratched the surface on Extinction, but in Zombies, I mean, we love the Easter eggs. We love, it's what gives the game life on YouTube, And what's step 21 of getting this particular weapon quest? People love that stuff. It really drives, like, replayability as well, and so... being such a big fan of the work that the other studios have done with Easter eggs, we're taking it even one step further, and can't be more excited. And it'll be interesting to see how many of the Easter eggs fans, actually find, and how long it takes them to find these things.
Awesome. Well, I understand you actually have a little something you could show today.
I do. Yeah, I have an image we're going to show now.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Someone please explain to me, what is this? Is that popcorn? Whose granddad left their popcorn on the side of this? Okay, so they are making their own co-op zombies experience. Let's see what we have here. 4A, 4A, 5A. Is it today? Infinity Ward card. Is that Infinity Ward or Infinite Warfare card 5? 1980 VR, which means Activision 85. 1985. Is that like some sort of significant day? Is that when this zombies takes place? I don't know. Although they did say that it's Infinity Ward, they've been working hard. Not only this, they mentioned Treyarch's version of zombies, and they mentioned a bunch of Easter eggs that they're going to be working on for themselves. Now, personally, I think if Extinction Mode had zombies in it, that Call of Duty fans would have liked it a lot more. I think they might be taking inspiration from Call of Duty Online's zombie mode. Have any of you guys seen gameplay from Call of Duty Online? It's like the online multiplayer / zombies co-op thing that they have in China, which is fucking amazing. Alright, so if they are taking inspiration from that, which I think they might be doing, that would be so fucking cool, because they got normal zombies, cybernetic zombies, they can jump into like helicopters and shit, they have different weapons that they can upgrade and stuff like that. I really don't know what I think about every single development team for Call of Duty taking a page out of Treyarch's book and doing zombies, because originally Infinity Ward had like they had the co-op mission things that they used to do, and also the survival mode, which I guess people didn't like as much. The survival mode for MW3 wasn't too exciting, and then when people played BO2 Zombies, they were like, geez, we're glad Black Ops 2's out. So I mean, we'll see what it's like with their take of zombies. Hopefully it's going to be exciting. This is really all they showed to us.
I'm sure the community is going to spend countless hours kind of pining over that, gleaning whatever detail they can. All right, Brian, thanks so much. I'm excited to see what you guys do with...
Yo, I am also excited, man. Hope you guys really did enjoy this quick little stream just showcasing what Infinity Ward had planned for this. And this is obviously just first glances at everything that they have prepared for us. These guys have been working hard for the past couple years while Sledgehammer was making Advanced Warfare, while Treyarch was making Black Ops 3. These guys have been taking fucking notes. They've been taking inspiration. These guys have been working hard. We'll just have to, I guess, wait till E3 and see what the final product is. And hopefully, you know, just let's see the multiplayer and the co-op zombies official reveal. Because this kind of was the reveal, but we're still waiting for like the official multiplayer reveal trailers and stuff like that, which shows the gameplay, the dynamics, the combat, the controls, everything, the movement system. The core movement system, they said they've tweaked a bit and made it kind of like perfect, and they kept the core Call of Duty, which I don't think I know how they did that when they have people thrust jumping, but we'll have to wait and see. If it's anything like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 3 slightly toned down, I think Call of Duty fans will be, you know, happy. Even if the fucking multiplayer maps are in space, I think as long as another thing that they said was they looked at the core map mechanics that Treyarch are using, which is a 3-lane system. If they keep that going, it doesn't matter as Call of Duty fans if the maps are based in fucking Saturn, Uranus, Mars, whatever. As long as it flows good, the boots are on the ground for the most part. We might even... He didn't mention any spaceships or space battles during multiplayer. That might be something that we see during zombies. Imagine zombies takes place during or inside an abandoned space station. How fucking cool would that be? But I'm going to leave you guys with that, man. I just wanted to, I guess, get my point across. Like I said, if you guys are interested in a giveaway for the Legacy Edition of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I'm going to be giving away 5 copies. Make sure you guys are subscribed and drop a like as always. Like I said, man, we're really not fussing too much as Call of Duty fans. I think Infinity Ward has got it. They've had enough time to take down notes to see what Sledgehammer Games did wrong with Advanced Warfare, which for me wasn't a really exciting Call of Duty. Black Ops 3 is still greater than ever. We got 2 more DLCs left for that, which I will be covering on my YouTube channel. It's very exciting. As a Call of Duty fan, I think all of you guys should be pumped, because even if Infinite Warfare is a letdown, which I'm hoping and praying it's not, we'll still have Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered to be playing and recreating the great times that we did. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. You guys are the fucking greatest. I'll leave you with that, and I will see you later, you fucking alligator cunt.